1470 AM and W298BX 107.5 FM, Winterville, North Carolina.
All right, all right, all right. I'm your host for the next 50 minutes, Tonitia Langley, education enthusiast, thought leader, and founder of Enrichment Strategy Services, LLC, an education consulting business. Connect with me through Linktree Enrichment Strategist. I'm excited to partner with you and be dedicated to the heart of community, which is education. I'm the host, but you and the community mean the most. I would love for you to share your suggestions of what you would love to get more information related to K-12 education. Please email us at let's talk K-12 education at gmail.com. So, guys, I'm back. We've talked a little bit about getting the families and the students ready for back to better, back to basics, back to school. We did a series for a couple of weeks, even kind of rounded off for our beginning teachers on last week's show with Shantae Streeter and Kayla Green that joined me. Kayla Green being a repeat guest. So this week we're going to make it a little, we're going to keep it into the lines of the whole child. And I am excited today to talk about some things in relation to taking care of the whole child, giving information to the community as it pertains to K-12 education. So let me, without further ado, introduce my guest. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by some educators whom I have worked with on an international project, as well as us having a strategic partnership together. And you've met one before. She'll be coming in on audio. That's Miss Tiffany Proctor. And we also have another person on our ed consultant team, Dr. Kimberly Welch. So let me tell you a little bit about Dr. Kimberly Welch. Dr. Kimberly Welch is the founder and consultant for Forethought Essentials LLC. She has over 22 years of experience helping educators hone their craft and build their teaching skills. Known for mentoring, coaching, and professional development services, Forethought Essentials LLC is a company that is here to support professional and parental educators to do their very best in enhancing their skills in supporting students. If you need support in building your confidence in the ever changing world of teaching and learning, or have a group in need of enriching professional development, you can reach out to at Forethought Essentials. Her email is hello at forethoughtessentials.com. We believe that education is all about forethought and preparation. Dr. Kimberly Welch, welcome you to the show today. Can you tell the wonderful community and listeners of Awesome Radio a good hello before we get into our topic today?
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. It's so great to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. So we have a new person on our show today. She's new to you, old to me. Her name is Miss Tish Williams, and I built my show around Miss Tish Williams today and what the information that she has to provide. So let me tell you a little bit about Miss Tish Williams. She's the business development manager in the neighborhood and business services department for the city of Greenville. Her background includes various positions held in federal, state, and now local government. In her current role, one of her main goals is to share knowledge with others and be a bridge to connect people with much needed resources to start and or succeed in business. One of her favorite mottos is that she loves to see people win. That is why she's up here on my Let's Talk K-12 Education show. She's mom, sister, Army veteran, and self-proclaimed foodie. That's why we get along real good. Tish, can you tell these wonderful listeners of Awesome Radio 107.5 listeners a good hearty hello?
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much. And then Miss Tiffany Proctor, who will be joining us via on the line. She is a repeat guest. She is also one of the individuals on our ed consultant team. She's the owner of It's a New Day Consulting and brings 24 years of experience in education to the table. Specializing in school counseling, behavior management, MTSS, and adult education, Tiffany has dedicated her career to empowering students and educators alike. Her expertise and passion making a difference in the lives of others truly make her a leader in the field. You can reach her on Instagram at It's a New Day Consulting, and you can email her at newdayconsulting31@gmail.com. Ladies, I want to welcome you guys to this very, very special show today as we tie into, I thought it was a good thing for us to bridge the back to school topics, keeping in the flow of back to school, but also in the flow of just providing our radio listening audience with some good information. So, if you would like a recap of tools and resources promoting educational equity from previous Let's Talk K-12 Education with Tonitia Langley shows, head on over to Facebook. You're going to see Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM with the purple and green logo. If you're over there on YouTube University, you can go check her out over there. Awesome Radio TV Vision on Film 9300 and search with the purple and green logo for previous shows. So, without any more, we're going to go ahead and get into with me being a wife, mother, former middle school teacher, and grandmother to 8 school-age G babies, and currently an education consultant and coach. I recognize the importance of the ability of critical thinking. So, always open my show up, true education style, with a segment I call "How is Your Brain Game?" to get your mindset shifts ready for school, homework, and school tasks with your children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, godchildren, and the whole crew. So, we're taking callers today at 252-756-2008. If you can guess this brain teaser, Tish, Dr. Kim, Tiffany, y'all gonna help us out if we don't have any callers?
I'll try.
We
All
will
right.
do our best.
Do
Okay.
my best. I'll do my
So,
best.
with this brain teaser, I try to find brain teasers that are relative to what we're going to be talking about today. So, this particular brain teaser is a network teaser. And so, here we go. You ready? Y'all ready? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
You ready?
Of adults, preteens, or teenagers are networking at an event. The host asks, "What has 8 legs, 2 bodies, and can fly?" Any radio callers? Again, we're taking callers at 252 while our guests are thinking, 252-756-2008. And I will go over that networking event brain teaser again. It says a group of adults and preteens or teenagers are networking at an event. And the host asks, "What has 8 legs, 2 bodies, and can fly?" Oh, there's lots of thinking going on. Look at this. I love this. It reminds me when I was in the classroom.
Hmm.
A spider riding a bird.
Mm.
Right there in your face. So this riddle plays on the unexpected combination of two different animals, and it can spark a conversation and encourage creative thinking if some of our students or the parents or caregivers of our students are at some of these networking events, and it kind of leads us into where we're going today in our conversation. And our conversation today is a step forward readiness. But before we get into that, um, if you, radio listening audience, if you have any brain teasers for How is Your Brain Game segment and you would like them on our show, come on, we're lonely. Email us at let's talk K12education at gmail.com. Again, if you have some brain teasers, icebreakers, warm-ups that you would like to share on our show, email us at let's talk K12education at gmail.com. Now, again, today's focus, we're going to be talking about step forward readiness. So, what are you talking about, Tanisha? Where are we going with all of this? All right. So, building blocks for success, essential skills and opportunities for K-12 students and their families. Today, we're going to be addressing some critical concept components necessary for K-12 students to achieve academic and career career success. And me and the guests will do a light dive into the topics such as core academic skills, soft skills necessary, college and career readiness, networking, family involvement, and community resources. Overall, our goal with today's topic is to provide K 12 students and families with the tools and knowledge needed to build a strong foundation for future success. In addition to telling you about a very important City of Greenville event coming up for those parents that are still dreaming of a shift. So, Tish, I want you to tell our listeners and our parent dreamers about a major event organized by the City of Greenville that encompasses building blocks for successes, essential skills, and opportunities for K 12 students and their families, and share other tools and tips that can benefit our community listeners, with the focus being on the parents or adults in the household of the K 12 students and families. Now, before you get started, we are taking callers today at 252 756 2008 for questions and clarity for Tish Williams regarding the City of Greenville event that she's going to talk about that's helpful for the whole child, for the family, for those parents of those students that are still dreaming. So, Tish, give our listening audience some information that I think will be very helpful for them, for those that are still dreaming.
Thank you, Tanisha. So today I wanted to touch on networking tips. I've got 6 networking tips. If you have a business idea, maybe you haven't launched your business just yet, you're thinking about it, or if you are a current business owner, these are some tips that I think would be very helpful for you. So, tip number 1, prepare to put your best foot forward. And the only thing that I mean by that is you want to make a great first impression. We've all heard that before. A first impression is a lasting impression. And so maybe you don't have the latest and greatest trendy clothes. That's okay. Take what you do have, iron it, press it, show up looking polished, looking professional, looking put together. Also, have some business cards with you. If you don't have business cards, have a pamphlet, something that's going to point out what your business is offering. And then the last thing underneath this tip, I would say, is have a 30-second commercial ready. State your name, what you do, or what you would like to do, and then let the person know why you decided to attend whatever event it is. Tip number 2, refresh and or create social media profiles and join specific groups. So if you are a baker, okay, get on Facebook, find the bakers group.
Pretty much.
Become a member. I would say LinkedIn is a big one, especially as it relates to career
Yes.
and businesses. Go up there, create your LinkedIn profile if you already have one, update it, and just start connecting to folks. You never know what type of valuable insight or opportunities to collaborate could come out of that.
That's true.
Tip number 3, attend local events or meetups. So, as you guys know, there are different organizations, such as the one that I work for, the City of Greenville. We also have different trade shows, community events. We've got the local Chamber of Commerce, other nonprofit groups that are out there that host events to create an atmosphere for people to make connections and to start building relationships. So, with that being said, we have our annual Minority Enterprise Development Week coming up in October, also known as Med Week, which will take place October the 14th through the 18th. This is a week where we highlight and celebrate local minority and women-owned businesses in the area. Midweek events will be posted on Eventbrite. Registration will open tomorrow. We've got a variety of events lined up, including an award ceremony on Thursday, October the 17th, and we'll have a culture and commerce expo on Friday, October the 18th. If you have any questions, you can always reach out to us in Neighborhood and Business Services. You can reach us at 252-329-4665 or shoot us an email at businessdevelopment@greenvillenc.gov. Back to the list.
Oh my goodness. This is awesome. This is So Tish, I know that we got to get ready to go on break because we can always continue after our station break.
Okay.
But I wanted to step in. You just gave a lot of great information for the parents of some of our students who may have had an idea for so long and just sitting on it. And, like in our discussion, we were saying, for some of our families of our children, do you have to have everything in place to come to midweek?
Absolutely not. Medweek is for everyone. Medweek is for everyone. It's a great opportunity to network with some other folks. It's a great opportunity to learn about free resources available in the city of Greenville. And it's a great opportunity to get to know the different small businesses that are operating in our area.
Awesome. I love that because, as a teacher from coming from a K-12 setting, a lot of times what I recognized as an educator is when the parents are feeling fulfilled and meeting dreams and feeling whole. It actually set the tone and atmosphere for those building blocks that students needed to come to school. When the parents felt whole and fulfilled. So I'm excited for you to give this information for some of those families because we want them to know you don't have to be on the golf club or in the golf community in order to come out. It is designed for you. So that is some great information. So yeah, so I want you to get back to your list. I just had to put that in. It made me so excited. So please forgive me. Got about another minute or two, so you can go ahead and let it roll.
Thank you. And now we're back on tip number 4, which would be create an organized system for contacts. I can't tell you guys how many times I have attended events, met some awesome people, gotten some business cards, and then after the fact, just life happens, things move on, and misplace the cards. And so this tip is for you. If you're like me, this tip is for you. Have a way to keep track of the people you meet along the way when you're out here networking. Have a place where you keep all your cards, your business cards that you collect, and then create your own contact list. It doesn't have to be fancy, it just needs to work for you.
Awesome.
Okay. Tip number 5, follow up. After meeting someone new, always follow up with a personalized, message or email. You can keep it simple, right? It's about that connection. And then the last tip, tip number 6, offer value first. And all I mean by that is when you're out here networking, don't focus so much on what you can receive, but focus on how you can help others. Offering value builds trust.
Yes.
Building trust helps you create and build a better relationship. And before you know it, when you do that, people will find ways to give back to you.
Yes.
Just be you, be intentional, and great things happen.
Thank you so much, Tish. You are
Thank
so
you.
Those are amazing
That was
tips.
amazing. Great.
I know, Dr. Kim, I know.
Great
We got a few
tips.
minutes before we go to our break, but man, you got me where I know I'm going to go. And I'm really hoping that we see some of these families who are just thinking, that's not for me, that's for them over there, or that's for that person, or that's for this person that I've heard in the community. So thank you so very much. As we talk about building blocks for success, essential skills and opportunities for K-12 students and their families, and also about that step forward readiness. That is, I can't wait for us to bring it into some things. We're going to tie it all in a nice, neat little bow with things that us educators are going to. You provided it for the parents and for the caregivers and for those those for the those parents and caregivers for the students. And what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and put it in a nice neat little bow about some things that the students need to consider. And before we get ready to head into our break, want to just say come join us back after the radio station break, um, where we will continue to talk about stepping in step forward readiness. When we return from our break, going to continue the flow to talk about what those building skills that are necessary, not just for this event, but we're going to provide you with information to get your students thinking about it, not waiting until they head to high school. But we'll continue that discussion and conversation when we return back after the radio break. And can't wait to finish up with Dr. Kim, and we're going to tie it all up with Tish. So we'll look forward to seeing you back after this break.
You're listening to Awesome Radio, WECU 107.5 FM, 1570 AM. Christian media with the spirit of excellence.
Take your next step with God today at boldstepsminute.org.
Looking for a job worth talking about? Teaching is creative, collaborative, and intellectually challenging. See why teachers have better work stories at teachdfw.org and learn more about becoming a teacher. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Hello, my name is Hayden. Thank you for listening to Awesome Radio, 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU.
All right. Welcome back to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM. You can find us here talking about all things education every Tuesday from 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Let's Talk K-12 Education. You can also email us at letstalk12education@gmail.com if you've got some topics that you would like for us to put on the table. We would love to hear from our wonderful community. I'm the host, but you as a community mean the most, and we want to hear from you. So before the break, Tish Williams informed and described to you about the phenomenal MedWeek event coming up in the city of Greenville, North Carolina, and how it can be a great opportunity for parents pursuing dreams and may need a shift in their lives in pursuit of passion and purpose. Tish, thank you so very much. As someone on your subcommittee, I am looking forward to the informational sessions and Groovy Network events that you just described and those free resources. I had an amazing time last year, and I'm looking forward to this year as well.
Thank you.
So, before we get into our next guest, according to AI University, here are some findings in support of parents pursuing dreams and attending informational and networking sessions, just like the one at the City of Greenville Midweek that Tish shares regarding building blocks for success, essential skills, and opportunities for K-12 students and their families. So, there is increased motivation. A study published in the Journal of Educational Psychology found that students whose parents express high expectations for their academic success were more likely to be motivated to achieve. This suggests that parental dreams can serve as a powerful motivator for children. So I have another one, but I want to get into um, Dr. Kimberly Welch. Give our families in our listen audience some building blocks for success, essential skills, and opportunity for K-12 students and their families, and share some tools and tips that can benefit our community listeners and help them out if they attend the City of Greenville Midweek event. So let's talk about it from an educator's perspective or whichever way that you want to go. So come on, bring this on conversation back in. I'm so excited.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, I really love that, Tish. I really love the idea of way to remember someone. I just wanted to tell you. Even I've found that taking a picture with someone, um, and just putting a little note in your phone really quick when after you meet them, it's a great way for people to remember people they meet, as well. And I do love
Mhm,
sending those personal messages. Um,
mhm.
Also, some really great things. Well, because I have a recent college graduate, and I have a new one on the way, getting ready to go next year. So, I just like to to encourage parents to just start setting some routine, some learning along the way that your child is going to need to know as they become that college student. So, taking them to the bank, teaching them how to open an account. Now, a lot of banks are beginning to offer debit cards for the younger children. So you can
Mhm.
start doing it at a younger age now so that you can start teaching them how to utilize the debit card, the bank card. Um, Also, when those kids become 18, they have to start setting their own doctor's appointments. So you can start
Yep.
talking to them about those things ahead of time, and actually having your child do the call in and say, I know everything can be done online now, but some things
Mhm,
you do have to talk. I mean, depends on the doctor's office and everything, but teaching them how to speak with their doctor, sending in the letters and information online on how they can get in touch with their doctor and schedule those appointments, letting them know dentist and doctor are different.
mhm.
That is a big
True.
thing. They don't know those things. It's
Mhm,
so many things that are not taught in school that you can start teaching your child along the
yes.
way so that they're
Mhm,
able to be successful. Um, as that college graduate, she decided to stay where she is in school out in Atlanta, and she
good.
decided to get an apartment. So now that's something I did not teach her, but I mean, but she felt confident enough to go out. Oh, okay, so I need to go find an apartment. I need to, but that is even something that, we could even do ahead of time to say just walking them through the skills of going to go
Thank
look
you.
for an apartment, finding out what it takes to even go through that whole process, because it's um, just being hit with all those things ahead of, is just,
It is. Dr. Kim, let
yeah,
me jump in for just a second before we go to break, because I find this is very important. So Tish gave some building blocks essential for those parents that may haven't been exposed to those things before. You're giving some really dynamic tips to parents of when we're talking about step forward readiness and those building blocks for essential skills.
yes.
So, as an educator, educator to educator, or former educator to former educator, Dr. Kim, how important is it that with your daughter who is going to college, um, that we get started with those things like you're talking about life skills necessary, which a lot of times we thought we had them, we thought we had them together, but we really don't. So step back for just a second for those parents who may have children fifth grade, sixth grade. What would you recommend to them to get their students thinking about college, um, the college track? Because sometimes I'm not going to say that parents make the mistake of waiting until the kid gets into high school and putting that responsibility on the school counselor. What
Mhm.
would you say in your progress that helped with you and your child to get her where she is now, and then you teaching her those life skills that are necessary when we're talking about step forward readiness? Got about 2 minutes.
Well, even just, taking the time to go visit colleges, even if it's the junior college in your neighborhoods, go to the good junior colleges, seeing what they have to offer. Because visiting colleges out, universities, colleges, and community colleges, you want them to be able to see the difference. Um, just having the conversations, like, and having them going to different meetings. They have people, they have different university um, events where you can go and find out about the different colleges. You can take your fifth grade, sixth grader along to see those, so that they're able to just have listen to what is required of them, so that they have a pathway to college, so that they can say, oh, I can do this. But also it's looking at what it might not be college, they might need to go into technical areas. So even going to go see what is available, and
Trade,
try
military.
any trades. Yes, any there's a lot of different areas and arenas that they can step into. So there's going into those places and talking with people. Um, if they want to become a barber, why don't have them go in and speak with their barber, speak with the hairdresser, speak with the nail techs, find out what they have conversations with them, sit, interview those people, have your child sit down and talk to them, find out ways that things that they want to do, so and talk to those people that are actually doing it, so that they can have an idea of how they can step forward.
Awesome. So, okay, for about maybe 5 minutes, did you see any virtual opportunities that were available for parents maybe that have challenges going out? Did you see any of those?
Virtual, I'm sorry.
Like virtual opportunities for them to have a conversation with people, do a virtual tour of a school? Because if not, we'll discuss it after the
There
break.
are all the universities do have virtual tours that you can go and go on their websites and go on there and tour those schools. So that would be the
Awesome.
best way to do that.
Thank you, Dr. Kim. Well, thank you for providing some of those tips, and you can continue when we come back after the break. In step forward readiness, getting your child ready, not having them prepared, but making sure they are prepared. And we're going to continue our conversation after our radio break very shortly. Look forward to seeing you back soon.
Hello, my name. You are listening to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM, 1570 AM, WECU. All right.
Hello.
Welcome back to Awesome Radio 107.5 FM and 1570 AM WECU, promoting educational equity for the families in our listening community. I'm the host, but you and the community mean the most. Please email us your K-12 educational suggestions, excuse me, or topic ideas at let's talk K-12 education at gmail.com. We are taking callers today at 252-756-2008 for questions and clarity for our topic, which is step readiness. Okay. And before the break, we heard from Dr. Kim giving us some practical tips, getting our children ready for life after school, heading into college, and life on their own. And I was asking some information about what we need to do as far as getting them ready leaving it up to the school counselors, once they get into high school. And Dr. Kim was able to provide us some information. So before we head to our next guest, Dr. Kim, did you want to wrap up? Was there any more information, more tips? When we're talking about these building blocks for parents, helping with their children. So you're good? You put
Yes,
some
thank
yes.
you.
Good. But I know you're going to probably want to chime in. So before we continue our discussion, I would like to add some more AI University findings on building blocks for success, essential skills, and opportunities for K-12 students and families. A study conducted by the National Center for Education Statistics found that students who participated in college counseling programs were more likely to enroll in college, choose majors aligned with their career goals, obtain higher paying jobs. This highlights the importance of early exposure that Dr. Kim and Tish were both talking about, to career options for making informed decisions. So, we're going to go ahead and get right into our other guests because we can go on and on and on. We all feel very passionate and purpose filled. We were having some discussions while we were off camera about how this makes us so excited to be able to provide, this information, not just for our children, our K-12 children, but for the families of our K-12 children, because we know that when we have those children coming from those well nourished, nurtured homes, with families that are providing these foundational skills for these families that are whole. And it doesn't have anything to do with your socioeconomics, okay?
That's
This
true.
has everything
That's
to do
very
with utilizing what you have with what you have to get to where you're trying to go. And on this show, Let's Talk K-12 education, we want to be able to say, you can't say, well, I didn't know. I didn't know that there were free resources. I didn't know that there were free tools and resources and tips and things of that nature, because we're doing our best here to provide that with you. So, without further ado, continuing on with talking about building blocks for success, essential skills and opportunities for K-12 students and their families, we're going to bring on our repeat guest, which is going to be joining us via audio, Miss Tiffany. Miss Tiffany, can you hear us and can you come on?
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can hear you just fine. How you
Oh, yay! Okay, I was a little. Whew.
We're gonna miss seeing that beautiful smile of yours, but we
You
know
know,
you
you
have
got the little picture there. That's only a little portion of it. You see some teeth? There we go.
that is all right. We are so excited from your area of expertise, talking about step forward readiness, talking about those building blocks, from everything from Tish providing information to the families about getting out of coming out of their comfort zone, and to Dr. Kim talking about giving those good tips to those parents to say that there are some things that you can do to set your
Mhm.
children up for success. And that we're not going to talk about that word, but we're talking about breaking generational curses. Yes, I said it.
Yes.
We're talking about those ways to do that. So yeah, we're going to go there today. We riding on down I-95. Y'all coming
And
with me?
okay. I'm gonna stop on 95, so I'm in the car right now.
Okay,
So I
good.
just want to say, listening to Tish, that is such great information because
Mhm.
for anyone in your area, those are the things that they miss out on. If no one shares those things, the free events that get you in the door and get your mind going, you see your ability to do these things, and ability to be a small business owner where it's so
Mhm.
out of reach for some people. So I think
Mhm.
even just that and your tips, I will use your tips, organizing systems for
Mhm.
contacts, because we are in the age of half business card, half electronic business card. There's a lot going on. So it's organizing all of those things. And then even with Dr. Kim, we're talking about your own daughter. I mean, I have kids across ages 23, 16, and 12. So conversations are very different in our household. I have a master's degree. I'm a school counselor, and my husband, he does AC. He's a service technician for AC. So he did an
Mhm.
apprenticeship. So we have so much experience to show our kids there are other ways to do this. And I am currently a school counselor for an adult education center. My students are younger, 17, 18, and still trying to figure out life. So we don't like the question, what do you want to do when you grow up? Because I sometimes sit at my desk like, Lord, what I want to do when I grow up here. 24 years later, what am I, ooh, I need to do a career test. But it is piquing that interest because I have a master's degree. My kids knew what that was for me to go back, and I was teaching at the time, and to obtain that. That is not for every student that I sit with. For the parents, I hear them say things like, oh yeah, it has to be 4 years college. They'll be the first one. And I'm sitting there and I'm saying, your son just said he wants to be a diesel mechanic, which means he can make very good money. But we need
Mhm.
to look at the diesel mechanic trade school. We do not need to go to a 4 year college to do that. And so that is allowing some stigmas to be removed and exploring programs. So there is a site, mynextmove.org, is sponsored by the US Department of Labor. I
That-
go to that site often, mynextmove.org, ORG. You can search careers using a keyword. You can browse by industry if you're not really sure. You're like, I thought I like it in this area, or you can do a career interest inventory for free.
Love it.
And once you do that, you'll get your careers for your area of interest. You'll also get the outlook for that job because it's nothing like working so hard to obtain a degree or a certificate and then that job is not existent in your area anymore because
Mm.
that was 3 years ago. So you have to stay current. So looking at the outlook of a job helps them determine, is this something that's going to still be around in 3 or 4 years, 5 years from now? Is this something I should devote time to? And you can sort your careers by interest there and just get yourself ready for job prep. And they have that in Spanish. They have it for veterans. I have a special link for veterans there as well. So it's just something that gives people so many different opportunities. There's also an apprenticeship area on that site
Mhm.
um, that talks about Apprenticeship USA. And I'll tell you, even for my husband was working in a door factory. This was a long, long time ago, but someone told him about an apprenticeship. And he was like, I can't do that. And I don't know anything about that. I didn't go to school for that. And they're like, you're going to go to school through this. And it was free. He got 4 years
4 years.
while I was struggling with my master's degree and counting them coins. This man was going to school twice a week for free. I said, look at this here. Can somebody help me and tap me on the shoulder and get me to an apprenticeship for counseling, please? Can someone help me? But I say that to say he put in just as much work as I put in. And I was a first year teacher and he was making more than me as an apprentice. And so, because that's what I chose. So I'm not going down what I chose, right? That's what I
Right.
chose. But it's just to
Right.
show that it's not just an area that you're just looking at salary, but you're looking at your overall well being. Can you make a business of this later on? Those are always options for people who are doing technical trade or going to 4 year universities. But I think when you think of 4 years of college, what you did, Dr. Kim, for your daughter is setting her up for success because when we just send them blindly, we're going to party and we're not going to classes. We've
Mhm.
got because if we were very sheltered at home, you're
Mhm.
you're releasing me to
Right.
the wild
Mhm.
without the tools. When you release them, you give them the tools so that they can find an apartment if they need it, find out how to use that meal card and keep that money so that they can eat. It's those little things. And I had to help. My sister is 12 years younger than me. We're not, that's another show. But I had to help her at her HBCU kind of figure out some things, right? That my mom just wasn't equipped with. She just knew I have kids in college and
Mhm.
praise God and we're gonna pray and keep going. But we needed some tools in order to be successful. So there are
That's
always
true.
times to start.
Tiffany, let me hop in. You gave a lot of good gems. I mean, so I
Thank
want to I
you.
want to take a step back for just a second because
Mhm.
it jarred my memory Me being I was also, instead of, in addition to being a middle school ELA and social studies teacher, I was also an avid elective teacher, which is a college and career readiness program. And one of the things that I will tell you is that program, we provided tools for those midstream students that maybe otherwise wouldn't have had the opportunity to go to college because
Mm-hmm.
they maybe was the first. But one of the things I want to back up to say is I also introduced them to the idea of, yes, you are here. Yes, it is my goal to give you these resources and tips and exposure to go into a 4 year. But I also want you to understand that it's not the end of the world if you decide, I want to go to cosmetology school. I want to get into tech. I want to go to the military, because those are all things that will make you an honest living and you can do very well and be happy, and
Mm-hmm.
well rounded and fulfilled. So I want to go back just a second to, we laughed when you said, you and your degrees, and what you were going through versus your husband taking a different route. Well, the same thing happened to me with me and my son. Here I am, credential, license, master teacher. And here my son is having to owe taxes, didn't go, did a little bit of military time, but chose a route, have those skill sets that were necessary, went into leadership on a job, and basically was making six figures. Um, so I want you to bring up that tool again, because we're still talking about step forward readiness. We're still talking about building blocks for success, those essential skills and opportunities for K-12 students and families. But I want you to mention again, the resources that educators and families can utilize to start introducing those to their children. I want you, if you could, tell me what those resources were again.
Okay, so the website that I mentioned is mynextmove.org, all one word, mynextmove.org. And there you can do a career test, or you can go and search by your career and just see what's out there and start to get your mind going. My seventh grader, we it's a little difficult doing, a career interest inventory with the young ones, but you can kind of get some interest of theirs and start looking at programs, what education is needed. My junior in high school, he's kind of on the fence. Like, he plays sports, but he's really interested in a trade. And then the next week he's interested in being an athletic trainer. So we are, girl, we are all over in my next move, because I want him to kind of see the trajectory. Like, what you start to do kind of lays out your life path, but you don't have to know 100% in now, but you have to be exposed. So through basketball, we've done leadership trainings that's free. People can start looking around at things like that in the organizations they're a part of. AAU specifically, I don't work for them at all, but that is where I found the free leadership course for my son, and then for my husband and I as parents. We can do
Mhm.
those courses. We're attending a youth summit in our local area for free. So it's talking about financial literacy and community engagement. So you can literally Google now, like Eventbrite. You can Google and Eventbrite those topics: financial literacy for teens, if it's mentorship, those things like that, because you will start to get notification of those events that pop up in your area.
Okay, so before I do this study, I want to circle back to, we've talked about, we started off with Tish, providing some resources for our lovely families, for these students that we serve. Then we dove into Dr. Kim talking about her experience with getting her daughter ready, that parents really need to take heed and listen to. And then, Tiffany, you're talking about the non-traditional routes and ways that our students can still be successful. Now I'm going to turn it back over to Tish again, that started off telling us about this lovely event, to give us some more information about how we can keep our children and their families happy, and how they can attend this event. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Tish, to tell the listening audience about this event.
Thank you so much, Tanisha. So just to recap again, our annual Minority Enterprise Development Week is going to be held October the 14th through the 18th. various locations throughout the week, various events. And registration will be live tomorrow on Eventbrite. If you type in 2024 midweek.eventbrite.com, should take you straight there. And I certainly look forward to meeting all of you.
Thank you so very much. And I'm really hoping that our radio listening audience and the community will come out, for those that's still dreaming, for those that's a lot of times, have you guys noticed that most parents, even those coming from a limited background, they are going to give their children the best of them. And so a lot of times they may not be able to, they might not have lived that life themselves, but they're going to go above and beyond and say, listen, baby, I didn't do this, but I believe that you can do that. So it almost brings me to tears. I don't know why I'm getting so emotional too, but so for these families to be able to know that you don't have to put delayed doesn't mean denied, and that they can still go out and do these things and attend these events and get these resources, and so that just makes me so full when I talk about it, because I know a lot of times when I was teaching, these families are coming in and they're just surviving. So I'm hoping with this information that they understand that they don't have to just survive. There's stuff in the community right in their backyard that they can attend, to get a spark, because they're passing this information along to their children because they're giving the children the best of them. And so this is a way for them to not just only show up for them, for their children, but show up for themselves. So we got just a few minutes. Tiffany, Dr. Kim, get in here. We got about a minute. Get in
We're
here.
here. We're here.
Here.
What you think about that? It says step forward readiness. Step forward readiness.
So, our thoughts on just that topic in itself?
Yes, and what
Yes,
we.
I mean, at starting at any age, and even with the parents and family members that are home, step up readiness, like stepping into something that you want to do. Do not let self doubt come into play. If something comes into your heart, your spirit is brought to you, go ahead and find out how to best get into that field or that business. Because if it came to you and it's something that continuously pop up, that is something that you may be passionate about or something you need to explore more, but don't ever tell yourself no, that you can't do it, because you can. There are just going to be steps. And a good example of that, I had a young student tell me, I am going to the University of Miami and I'm looking at the GPA and I know that we're not going straight up. I said, you know what we're going to do, honey? We're going to go through the back way. So we have to build ourselves as a student at our local community college. And then we going to step into that door. But we might go through the side door. We might not can go through the front door, but we'll figure out a way in which to get to where you're going. So that wasn't a no. That was a not yet. Let's prepare to get there.
That's right.
That is
Yeah.
beautiful,
That's so good.
Tiffany. Thank
I'm
you,
the
thank you.
realistic counselor. I can't be over here
Yes,
sugarcoating. Lives is at stake. I can't sugarcoat it. I got to give them 100% how we can do things. And I do that for
I
parents as well.
that's
I
so
love
good.
it. And so we have talked about step forward readiness today, and it has made me excited. And so we hope that this step forward readiness has equipped you with the tools for educational equity that you need for a successful school year, to dream dreams, to come back to life, and to give what you give so often to your children. So don't forget to share your thoughts, questions, and views, previous shows on the social media pages, and join us here again next Tuesday at 2 o'clock for Let's Talk.
Hello, my name is Daniel from Greenville.